Hey everybody. Well, another pretty tough week, but got her done. So let's get to the recap. Hey, well, so week 23 ended up being another pretty tough week for me. It was Christmas week, so we had to rearrange some of the workouts, but which we ended up with more bike and run miles, less in the swim. And that bike included some really chilly weather. So let's get to the summary of mileage, and then we'll get to that. So week 23, we had a total swim of 3,000 yards, bike 104.9 miles, and on the run we had 17 miles even for a total active work time of 9 hours and 26 minutes. So a little more than normal, than we have been normally putting in, mainly due to that longer bike total. So conditions, kind of a screwy week a little bit. Our Sunday run, we started the week with a run, supposed to be a recovery run. It ended up more of a heart rate run, but the weather was great, low humidity, just a good run to start the week off. Then I had a trainer ride on Christmas Eve day, nothing special, just heart rate aerobic ride. Took off for Christmas, and then back to the grind on Wednesday with another trainer ride. But on that trainer ride, we did a couple of drills, a couple of sets of one-legged drills, 90 seconds a piece. And 90 seconds doesn't seem like that long, but let me tell you, on that one-legged drill, if you haven't done it, you need to. It's effective. But it really does work. At least it works my hip flexor and quads, of course. But you're having to pull and push, and so trying to keep that smooth rotation, it's a challenge. I'm not very good at it. So got that done. Then my long run on Thursday, it went okay, but the plan, I didn't stick to the plan very well. I was supposed to be 5 beats below ceiling for the first half, and then second half do negative splits if I'm feeling okay. Well, I never really stayed below ceiling. I mean, a little bit, but ended up a little over, a little under. Just it really ended up being a ceiling run for the first half. So then what I decided to do, instead of trying to deliberately do negative splits, I just stopped looking at my watch and let my breathing dictate my pace, my effort. I use, as you know, watching other videos, I do a 3-2, 3 in, 2 out breathing pattern. And so I pushed until I felt like I needed a little more, and I would do a 2-2 for a few breaths, and then to catch my breath, and then I would go back to a 3-2. That's when I knew I was right at that ceiling of getting outside. I'm over my ceiling, but I'm not threshold. That's kind of where I wanted to stay, and I did, and it actually worked pretty well. I did do, certainly my pace increased by 30-40 seconds a mile, but it wasn't consistently split, negative split. So I'm sure I got some benefit out of that. It was worth the session. So then Friday, got my swim in, 3,000-mile swim, 3,000 yard swim, and then the 65-mile bike on Saturday. Now, about that bike, the weather was, the temperature was in the high, 47, 48 when I started, about 10 o'clock in the morning. But the wind was 10 to 15 miles an hour due out of the north. And so it was bone chilling. That wind is a game changer. I went out without gloves on, or my regular bike gloves on, and no sleeves. I turned around, came back, and bundled up. And I'll go over that in a bit on our tips, but I was dressed appropriately. although I couldn't find my toe covers. And so my toes were pretty numb by the end. Again, it's a little deceptive, high 40s, yet I was freezing cold. It's that wind. You have to be careful. So, anyways, that ride, I'm glad it got done. And 65 miles in the cold like that's always a challenge. All right, injury update. No real injuries to speak of. Although it's funny, when I was on that long bike, on the way back, my left knee, inside, just above my kneecap area, a little bit strained. Now, I didn't do anything different, so I don't know what it was that caused that pain, but it lingered that night. The next morning, I could feel it just a little bit, and now it's gone. So don't know what it was. I'll keep an eye on it, but I wore some wool socks that, I know it seems pretty trivial, pretty small difference in my normal thin sock or no sock, but it also created some cushion that, so I lost some power as a result of that. And, it changed the height of my foot. And so the angle of my knee may put just enough pressure on that knee, over almost 4 hours of riding to maybe cause it a little strain. Who knows? Don't know. But it's gone, and hopefully it won't come back. Okay. So, summary, another good week, tough week. Got it done. So next week is New Year's week, New Year's Eve on Monday, and Tuesday, New Year's Day. So we'll get another break from the office, and I'll get something in. Might have to rearrange the schedule a little bit to accommodate the holiday, but not a big deal. And then after New Year's, we're pretty much on track for the normal grind for another 16 weeks. So looking forward to it. Hang with us, and we'll see you next week.